What up, you guys? Slim here with my boy TJ, Team Symmetry. We're here to talk about Gravekeepers, you guys. A lot of people have been requesting and asking, for my build of Gravekeepers, and, I'm going to show you guys. We're actually going to show you two Gravekeeper decks. I decided to actually take Pot of Duality out of mine. I've been running it without Duality for a while, just because, I wanted to see could I better myself as a player and actually do well at locals with it, and the answer is yes. So we're going to go through, the generics of a Gravekeeper deck, some plays we do, and then the difference between our two decks, and why the tech choices that we have are different and why they work for us and why exactly, oh my god, they confuse people all the time. So we're going to get into it and start with the basics. Every Gravekeeper deck has to run 3 Gravekeeper Spy. Yeah, Gravekeeper Spy. I have them, TJ has them. Spy is simple, you guys. Flip it, get another Gravekeeper. There's nothing else to it. It depends on what you search for, though, because a lot of people don't know when to search, what to search for at the right time. Usually you want to flip Spy to get Recruiter, you want to flip Spy to get Descendant, depending on what the setup of the field is, and then you search out the other if you lose Recruiter. Usually Descendant is the better choice because you can pop Spy to pop a back row, and then if you have a Recruiter in hand, summon it. So that's how Gravekeeper Spy works. Also, with under Necro Valley, 2500 defense, really hard to get around. Sheehan cannot get around it, and you still get to search, so it's really good. The next, that's very generic. All Gravekeeper decks should look the same by now. You got to run the 3 Commandants. Commandant is easy, you guys. Pitch it, get Necro Valley. It's basically you have 6 Necro Valleys in the deck, and that's why you need to run Commandant. But I mean, aside from that, a lot of people don't understand that under Necro Valley, Commandant turns from 1600 into a 2100 beater and should not be used just to pitch for Necro Valley. You should use it to beat down your opponent, because 4 attacks from Commandant and you win the game. So you got to run 3 Commandant. You got to up your chances of getting Necro Valley. Next card, probably the best card that one of the best cards that came out for Gravekeepers that makes the deck really good. You got to run the triple Descendants, you guys. Some people run 2, some people like 2, personal choice, but we both run 3. The combos with Descendant are really important, Like I said, flip Spy, get Descendant, because you can immediately just pop off your Spy with Descendant, pop a card, and, then you can summon Recruiter if you have it to, pop the other card, search, and get a +1 for yourself. So you have to run Descendant. Under Necro Valley becomes 2000, which is really good. So if you guys do that, I mean, I don't know why people wouldn't run 3. It's just so you up your chances of drawing it. Because like I said, this is going to be builds that don't include Duality. Not that it matters anymore with Duality getting reprinted, but if Konami does decide to hit Duality, which I highly think they will, even if it's just to 2 or 1, it will make a difference in this deck. So you have to have alternatives when you don't have a strong draw engine. The next triple card, the best card to ever come out for Gravekeeper is the Gravekeeper Recruiter. I call him Baldy. Gravekeeper's Recruiter is amazing. Like I said, you go Recruiter, you go Descendant, you get a +1, you get to search. Usually search for another Recruiter to continue the cycle and thin out your deck. The deck doesn't run a lot of monsters. It runs about 15, 16 max. And, some people run higher amounts, but, when you need to make your crucial plays, you need to have more room for spell and traps, and that's why this deck runs a lot of multiples, just to up your consistency. So the next thing, and this is where one of the differences in our decks comes in, I run 1 Assailant.
I run 2.
And TJ runs 2. Assailant is really good. Like, I only run 1, but I can see why you'd run 2. Assailant is your answer to a lot of problem monsters, especially Sheehan. I know in my videos I talk a lot about Sheehan, but it's because everyone is on basically like 6 Samurai saying that it's like, oh, the best deck, the most broken deck to ever come out. The honest answer, you guys, is that Gravekeeper beats Samurai a lot more than Samurai beats Gravekeeper. And that's because there's cards in here that single-handedly can destroy Sheehan without you losing anything in the process. Like, you can use 2 Deep Prisons to get rid of Sheehan, but you already -1 by activating the first one that was negated. So why not use a card like Assailant that can do that? And also, by running 2, if TJ's first Assailant gets bottomless, at least he has another one. So there's a difference. You see, I take the chance that mine's not going to get bottomless, and I run 1. So that's for that one. And then one of the choices that we both make, we both run Gale. Gale is ran, from a number of reasons. Gale has its halving ability, and that's really critical against certain decks. Like, again, against Samurai, against plants, depending on what they've summoned, just to shrink down a Synchro monster, because you need to get over them, and you can use your other Gravekeepers to do that. Gale is also ran because you can synchro with this deck really easily if you drop Gale with another Gravekeeper. Thing is, though, we don't really synchro, you guys. Like, honestly, I haven't dropped a synchro in this deck in like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I summon Gale, I half, and I keep Gale out on the field and protect it with my back rows just so I can keep having stuff. And then if I need to synchro, I do have that option. So that's why you run Gale.
Yeah, sometimes with my Gale, you have a lot of options to make with Gale. Since Gravekeepers are mainly spellcasters, you can make an Arcanite and pop, or also a Tempest.
You can make a Tempest. Tempest is big, you guys, because like people don't realize this card can end an opponent's game a lot faster than other cards. You discard cards that take 500 for each one. It's really good. Also, two of the key cards that you can run in here that only a few decks can run if they run Gale. You can run the Black Wings. You can run Armor Master Armwing because you can pierce with Shotgun Chicken and you can. Keep Armor Master alive. So that's why you run Gale. I mean, Gale's so versatile, it needs to be run. But the last monster I run and the last monster TJ runs are completely different. Mine is not as important as his. I'm going to get into mine first. Mine is just Gravekeeper's Guard. I run Guard. I saw it in Austin Coolman and Jonathan Weigel's build, and I know why it's there. Under Necro Valley, 2400 defense. You can bounce a monster back to the opponent's hand. It's basically to bounce synchros. So that's why you run Guard. It's good. But TJ's card is a lot more interesting. People probably don't even know what this is, so you know what? Tell them what it is, because I know they don't.
I run a Genix Ally Crusher. What it does is, if it's face up on the field and you summon another monster, normal summon another monster with the same attribute, which is this thing up here,
which is dark.
Another dark monster,
which all Gravekeepers are.
You have the chance to destroy any card on the field.
That's broken.
So I'll usually set it, and then since it has 2k defense, it'll be beefy enough to withstand an attack, and I'll just summon, a Recruiter or anything my next turn, and just pop something.
And then you get to plus once Recruiter leaves the field. So that's our monster lineup. I run 15, he runs 16. He's got the extra Stanley, he's got the Crusher, I got the Guard, so that's a difference. When we get into our spells, they're pretty much the same. Like I said, we're not running Duality in this build. Duality is, a lot of people say is needed, and I mean, I agree at times it is needed, but I've won a lot of games, even when I've had Duality in my deck, with not even having to use it. I've even set it to bluff my opponent, but more importantly, like in the spells, you run the most potent card of the entire deck. You got to run the 3 Necro Valley. I don't want to hear people that say you should be pro and run 2. You're not pro if you run 2. The guy who did that just got lucky. He sided a 3rd, which was just weird. But Necro Valley is your key card. Plus 500 on GK stops a lot of graveyard effects. I don't even need to get into it why you run this card. Along with this card, I know everyone is full of shit when they talk about this card. Royal Tribute is broken if it goes off, first turn. But you know what? We've been over this a million times. If it happens, it happens. We're just playing the game. Get over it. I've had a lot of people. Yeah, I've had a lot of people. Been able to bounce back. Remember, you can bounce back with Glow Up Bulb, you guys, because anything that's self-triggering like that or Zephyros, I can't negate. So yeah. So that's it. And then of course, we run just 2 Gravekeeper Steel. Some people run 3. I think 3 is way too many. Steel is, get back what you use. That's all Steel does. I don't even have to go into an explanation. Then we get into our staples. Some people don't main deck this, but I like to have the 2 MSTs. Instead of like the 2 potted dualities, I like the 2 MSTs because back row is a real pain because if you don't have protection and you lose like a Recruiter or something to a Deep Prison or Bottomless, you're really taking a heavy minus because you're not searching that turn. So I think MSTs are important. Plus, they're really good bluffs. Your opponent tries to MST your MST, and you MST what they have face down. So it works out pretty nicely. Then Dark Hole. You got to run Dark Hole. Clear the field. End of story. And the last one, Book of Moon. I already did a profile on Book of Moon. You guys know why I love Book of Moon. It works really good with Spy and Guard, and it works just good in general to get over stuff. So that's the spells, you guys. Like I said, there's no dualities in here. People have been asking, can you run Upstart? Yes, you can run Upstart, but why do you want to give your opponent plus 1,000 life points? I mean, granted, you do have a lot of control, but, an extra 3,000 can be the difference between you winning and losing, so I don't recommend it at all. When we get into our trap lineups are pretty similar, a little different. I run 3 Deep Prisons. He runs 2 Deep Prisons and a Proxy Deep Prison. Proxy Deep Prison is pro, actually. But Deep Prison is amazing, you guys. Deep Prison is your answer to a lot of monsters, especially Stardust. And, it doesn't destroy, so they can't use Magatama. They can't use a lot of stuff to negate it. You got to run Deep Prison. I like it in 3. Some people like it in 2. 3 just seems a lot more protective of your monster since you don't run that many. Everyone knows my favorite trap card in the whole deck. I run 3, TJ runs 3. You got to run the triple tools. I already did a profile on why tools is so good, so go check that out. It negates stuff, stops warning, it's key. Next thing we run that I put back in, like instead of dualities, because it works really well, is the bottomless. Bottomless is back, you guys. It works against agents, especially agents with Hyperion and stuff, so you got to run them. Difference in our builds. I run the 2 Solemn Warning because I have them. But TJ's pro choices are amazing. I'm going to let him get into those real quick.
So I chose Black Horn of Heaven. This is supposed to be a Black Horn of Heaven.
But it's a regular Horn of Heaven.
But they're coming. You see Black Horn of Heaven.
Yeah, Black Horn of Heaven. But he's got the real one, you guys. And this card is amazing because it's like a Solemn Warning for special summons without the 2,000 points of damage. Your opponent does not see it coming. And it's a counter trap. So unless you 7 tools or use another counter trap, it doesn't work. We run, the staples, Torrential and Solemn. You got to run them. Negate anything, clear the field. Trap version of Dark Hole. I run Royal Oppression.
I do too.
He does run Royal Oppression. I have a DT one. Royal Oppression is awesome. We only special summon through Spy, so it doesn't hurt us at all. And then Mirror Force. Mirror Force is really important. So that's the build, you guys. There's not a lot to explain. This is what we need to explain. So Exceeds are out, you guys, if you guys didn't already know. Number 39, Utopia. TJ runs 2. I only have 1 because I only can really ever summon 1 because I have a full extra deck. But Utopia is amazing. Basically, you take 2 of your Gravekeepers, stack them together, make a sandwich, and, use Utopia. Really good. 2,500 beater, can negate attacks by detaching material. I'm also going to try out Greenosaurus just because it's a level 3. I could stack 2 Recruiters, then if they die, I can search twice, so it's really cool. And then, TJ doesn't run the extra deck like I do, but my extra deck's very generic, you guys. Gotta run Trishula, it's important. I run my level 8s, Stardust and Colossal. I don't have Scrap Dragon, so I don't really need it. Like, it hasn't helped me as much as I thought it would. My 7s are generic, Black Rose, Scrap Archfiend, and, Ancient Fairy Dragon, just because I have to get around Close Forest. And then my other level 7 is Armor Master. And then, of course, I run the Armed Wing as well. 6s are simple. Tempest, Brionet, Gaia. Gotta run them. They work. 2 Recruiter and Gale. Search off Recruiter, really good. And then the 1 level 5 that I never summon, but it's in there just because Allied Justice Catastor. When you side deck, stuff like that happens. And then Chimera Tech, obviously, because I side in Cyber Dragon. But basically what this is you can exceed in this deck, and it's really amazing. Like, we're going to be trying it out. We do a lot of play testing with the deck, and that's basically it, you guys. I know you guys wanted a profile of the Gravekeepers for a really long time. Like I said, my Gravekeeper deck is nothing special. Neither is TJ's. They're generic Gravekeeper decks. The only thing that's unique in his is Crusher, which I highly suggest people try out. If you don't know what it is, check it out. TJ already explained what it does. This is what we wanted to do, though, is compare how you can make 2 really good Gravekeeper decks, barely spend any money, and, have, decks that work, in the format. Like, we've taken down plants effortlessly. We play against Blackwings a lot, and just a lot of the main decks are in the meta right now. So, just leave us comments below, what you think. Do you have any suggestions? Do we like our builds? We didn't budget like this because I usually run 2-pot of duality, but, for the video, I decided, I'm going to run it budget. Plus, I don't have dualities on me anymore since, they're getting reprinted, so they ain't worth shit anymore. So, that's just a little side note. But, when duality does come back out, we would probably be manning them. But that's it, you guys. Like the video. Let us know what you think. Please continue to rate, comment, subscribe. Wait. And TJ's got something. He told me to wait.
I will exease all over your face.
Oh my god, he's going to exease all over your face. Oh my god, it sounds delicious. Yeah. Alright, you guys. That's all we got to say. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.